error. All right, so let me do 3 of them super quick. Here you go. Don't just click through to find the answer just to get it done. You need to understand. All right, so here's the first one. Tom was asked to determine whether this is even, odd, or neither. Now, you guys should know, what is this function right here? Just by looking at that one, what is it? And you could graph it and see. Is it even, odd, or neither? Tell me. It's odd, right? It has 2 odd powers, no even powers at all. If you don't know that, you kind of missed the point today, right? You should really go back and maybe make sure that you know what you're doing. All right, next, find expression for this. So when we check whether it's odd or even, you plug in the negative x value, right? So we plug in negative x. What happens when you cube a negative? It's still negative, right? That's good. But what didn't Tom do? You're supposed to plug in negative x for every single x in the equation. Tom didn't do that. You're supposed to plug it in everywhere, right? He plugged it into the first part, but he didn't plug it in there. This is incorrect. Step 1's wrong right away. If you're substituting in a value into a function, you need to plug it into every value for x in the function. Okay, second example. Find the expression for this. All right, Terry's work's correct. Step 1's wrong, step 2's wrong, or step 3's wrong. Well, if we plug in negative x, we do that. Sorry, I clipped out the first part of it. This part's right. Okay. What happens when you cube a negative? It's still negative. What if you take a positive number like 1 and divide by a negative? What do you get? A negative. Step 1's good. Okay. Step 2. You should check to see if this new function is equal to or exactly the opposite of everything in the original. So step 2, check to see if it's the same or it's exactly the opposite. So this isn't the same as this or this. This statement here is incorrect. Here's the original function. What's the exact opposite of everything? It'd be negative there, but it would also be negative here, wouldn't it? Right? We talked about when we do vertical reflections last couple days, if we say that a function is the opposite, everything should be the opposite. So this statement here is incorrect. Step 2 is wrong. You shouldn't compare it to just the opposite of one of the terms. Okay, third example. We're going to plug negative x into there. That's an absolute value. What happens when you take the absolute value of a negative? It's even, but yeah, right, yeah. Well, you're right about that too, right? So the graph will be even, right? Should be. This turns into positive, so then we compare this to the original. Is it the same? Yeah, it's the same. It's the same as the original. But then the statement down here says it's equivalent to that, so it's odd. No. If we end up with the exact same function as we did in the beginning, that's an even function. So that third statement is incorrect. So we would have said step 3 here is the one that's wrong. All right, so there's 3 examples. I did one earlier on Cole's screen. If you have more questions on that one, let me know.